Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised.
You have no moral standing to talk. You are in no position, you as in America is in no position to pretend to be the guardian of democracy and human rights. You are the worst perpetrator of atrocities. You, in Barack Obama in 2011, intervened in a nascent Libyan civil war, using the NATO and Arab League partners, prolonging the war for 1 decade. You launched armed conflict in at least 6 countries. You carry out drone strikes. You've killed thousands with your drone strikes. You run Guantanamo Bay, where you run it on a 1,000-year-old ridiculous lease. You dropped atom bombs, killing 1,99,000 people in Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
I mean, I don't think we can trust this country. I mean, what has this country done to the majority of the countries in the Middle East? I don't think Iran's having nuclear weapons. I'm a pacifist. I don't believe in violence. But also, when we look at the legacy of imperialism and colonization in the Middle East, and we see the legacy of this country and all of the violence that it has not only created, but also created the capacity for. This country literally was built on the backs of black slaves and after the genocide of indigenous people.
A lot of Americans might take offense to that. You're an American. You don't sound like an American when you say.
Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad.
One of the things, no, we should talk about this because we're about to be perhaps in a nuclear war. The U.S. is going fascist. I don't know if you've read this Resist Act. We have Assange in prison. We invaded Iraq 20 years ago and killed 1 million people based on lies. And no one cares about that. They should be here to hear me because they're here to tell a bunch of lies. I should be on the program. The United States is in deep trouble. We have nothing to offer the world. China and Russia are bringing peace. They chilled out the situation between Iran and Saudi Arabia. The war in Yemen is ending. No, you don't have any idea how stupid you look to the world. How stupid everyone here in their pomposity. We're going to run around talking about democracy.
Turkish minister Suleiman claims the whole world, not just the world, the whole world hates America, he says in this interview. So I'm going to go through this BNN interview from the BNN network. It's a pretty bold statement. He's not pulling back at all. The whole world hates the United States. A lot of people are like, thank you for saying the obvious. Thank you for saying the truth, the thing that most people realize and won't say out loud. Others are saying, how dare you? How dare you? So Turkish Interior Minister has claimed the whole world hates America and suggests that Europe is merely a pawn of the United States. He says, United States is losing its credibility on the global stage. And he says it's attributed to various factors such as foreign policy decisions, economic policies, and perceived cultural dominance. He says there's no such thing as Europe. There is America. Europe is a trend in the Americas column. Ouch.
As he points out, it's like you were asking, like, has America lost its credibility? I mean, the credibility that they're really referring to is our directly post World War II credibility. Like post World War II, we had it going on, like throughout World War II, and then immediately after that, the Cold War begins, and that's when we just completely undermined our any credibility we had, in my opinion. If you look at like everything we did, like getting into Vietnam, all of the things we did after that, and it's just like I think that's where our credibility really started to fall, was like in the 50s. So it's like how long can we still ride that wave of World War II America?
Right, we needed to create an enemy. So we set about an opportunity to crush Europe. Britain is no longer a world superpower as a result. We are now the ones calling the shots. We are going to make the most money. We are going to...
We've built 900 bases around the world.
Right.
So we are occupying.
Then we have this hegemony for 60, 70 years. And now it's in decline. Turkish Interior Minister's comments may have far-reaching implications, BNN says, for international relations, particularly among Turkey and the United States and Europe. Such strong anti-American rhetoric could contribute to increased tensions between the countries. It may negatively impact diplomatic relations. Furthermore, dismissal of Europe's significance could strain Turkey's relationships with European nations, potentially affecting trade and cooperation in various areas. So there's already, of course, massive strain in that regard. But what's amazing is that Emmanuel Macron is basically saying the same thing, but just in a little bit more diplomatic language. Emmanuel Macron goes to China and admits that the United States has been basically pushing Europe into a hole. And we can't allow the United States to lead us in Europe anymore. We can't be involved in these skirmishes that the United States wants us involved in. It's leading to European collapse. He's telling the truth.
We are being embarrassed on the world stage. Our adversaries are taking advantage of it, and our friends are saying, hey, we may have to go on our own here because these guys look like they're about to commit societal suicide.
Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her. Take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies.